Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna need your help today because I thought we would have a speaker, so I need that interaction. I need to know what you want to learn about, and I need to make sure you're engaged. So, branding versus marketing. Beth Ellen talked about this a little bit earlier, right? And there are I like to divide up our marketing into two strategies, right? And that's branding and marketing, right? Beth Ellen always says you got chasing and then you got attraction. And what I've learned, right, over these years is that there's a difference between marketing and branding. Yes, marketing is a form of branding is a form of marketing, but the two are different, right? And what I mean by that is I generally like to apply this 80/20 rule to social media, right? It's like people say, what do I post? Where should I share? We say 80/20, and we say 80% of it should be you, like your personal, like who you are as a person. And that's like branding. And then we say 20% should be about business, which is marketing, right? So branding, what is branding? Branding is the why you do things, right? Why you or your company. Branding builds loyalty. Branding defines trajectory. Where are you going, right? And branding is being and existing, right? So branding is still important too, right? Because we have 29 agents in the room right now, but it's like, all right, what's the difference? Why would I want to do business with this person? Well, I want to do business with this person because they specialize in working with yoga people or dog lovers, whatever it is. I always think about Bethlehem when I'm thinking about these niches, right? So that's branding, right? Now, what is marketing? Marketing, typically we want to apply 20% of marketing to our business. So marketing is the how. It's the how. How are you going to do this? Are you going to do direct mail, cold calling, right? You're going to do, I don't know, social media marketing. What is it that you're going to do? So marketing is also tactics. Marketing generates response, right? So branding doesn't necessarily generate response. Marketing, it generates response. So when you go out there and you're doing your dances or TikTok or you're just posting stuff about food, right? And some of the, like we talked earlier in the content creators mastermind, we talked about we use we call it the Google strategy, where you go out, you go to these restaurants and you post reviews, and people are like, well, what does that do? How does that translate to real estate? It is a version of branding, right? So you're putting yourself out there, you're getting out there so people can know who you are, right? Brand marketing is the doing, right? And that's why I'm so heavy about implementation in this class, because we can learn all we want, but now it's time to do something. It's time to get out, employ, implement, execute. It's time to do those things. And one of the other things that I really appreciate about marketing is that it's a little more predictable than the branding. When you're doing branding, you don't necessarily know what's going to come. That's why people are asking those questions. How does this translate to business? You don't know. Branding can be a little unpredictable, whereas marketing is a bit more predictable. Okay, so tell me, I'm going to call on the audience. Are you following me so far? I want to make sure I'm not going too fast. Please type yes in the chat, and I need at least 50% of people to proceed. So awesome, awesome. All right, don't tell me I'm good and then later say it was too fast. Okay, please don't. I get that all of the time, and I'm trying to do my best to provide as much valuable to people as possible in this 1 hour time frame. So just a disclosure, just a warning. All right, so this is me. I, along with Bethella, I won EXP Instructor of the Year, and the reason why I bring this up is so you can understand the amount of value that we work towards bringing you. Right, we are serious about teaching you and helping you understand how to employ this stuff in your business. All right. All right, so just really quickly, a little bit about me. I'm Jerome Lewis. I'm from the Philadelphia area. I like to call myself a silly but serious millennial. So I have two sides. I have a silly side, but I also have a serious side. I run a marketing agency for real estate entrepreneurs. That means I can help with just about anything around marketing, also around tech. And I'm a number one best-selling author. I like to bring that up because being in these classes inspired me to write a book, and the rest is kind of history. Next, I am very good with technology. I have a former IT background, so I have some technology expertise that I can apply to these things that we learn, right? People always make things seem so easy, and what I generally like to do is I like to try to help you understand how to not easy, but I like to help you simplify some of this technology stuff. I saw your question in the chat, Walter. The name of the book is Remarketing. I'll find an Amazon link and drop it in the chat, and you are welcome to check that out if you want. The Kindle version should be, it's only like $2, right? If you want a physical copy, um, I have a website, and I could talk about that a little bit later. Next, this is it's important that we understand ourselves in business. And when I was creating that planner that I told you about a little bit earlier, I realized that it's important to different people have different personalities as well. So the more you understand about yourself and what you want to do, your goals, the better it is. And I started thinking like, why do certain people have success? They're willing to do the work. They understand themselves. They know their strengths and their weaknesses. The reason why I bring that up is because I know my strengths and my weaknesses, and I love the DISC behavioral assessment. Right? It tells you how you interact with people in business and professional settings. I am. I am a high D, high C. That means I'm very result oriented and I'm very detailed. So that makes me an implementer. When you combine those two, according to the DISC assessment, that makes me an implementer. I'm really good at implementation. All right, so this should be there. All right, so welcome. We have a weekly schedule. We have a rotating schedule by week every Thursday, right? So usually week one we do marketing implementation. Week two we do Instagram and branding by Paula Ponte. Week three we do video marketing for real estate. And week four, we do YouTube for real estate, which is Jaime. He is not here today, so I'm going to try to show you something else. I could probably teach you some stuff around YouTube, but it's going to depend on what it is that you want to learn. So bear with me. And then next, whenever we have a week five, sometimes you get 5 Thursdays or 5 Wednesdays, five or some day in a week. Whenever we have a fifth Thursday, we do open questions and answers or open workshop. Okay. All right, now these are some tips for you to get the most out of this training. Uh, Number one, please make sure you utilize the screenshot function on your keyboard and your smartphone, right? So some of these slides that I'm going to go through, you're going to want to take screenshots of it in addition to your notes, okay? I usually teach from slides, and I'm going to tell you what you're seeing on my screen is, let's see, oh, I messed up. What you're seeing on my screen is you're going to see, you see those little icons, those little links? Those are icons for you to click on. So later on, when you collect the slides, you can click on those and access that resource, right? So as an example, if you clicked on this slide, when you collect the slide presentation later, that will take you to my preferred screenshot software so you can take screenshots on your computer, right? That's just one example. So you're going to see those slides and those links littered throughout the entire presentation. These are more tips for you to get the most out of this training. Number one, make sure, this is a quote, tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. That's a quote by Benjamin Franklin. And the reason why I like to emphasize that quote is because the more you engage and interact and involve yourself, the more you learn, right? That's why I keep saying, hey, type in the chat, involve yourself. I want you to be involved so you can learn as much as possible and get out there and implement. All right. So I have some other resources for you. So I have a YouTube channel where I post some of these trainings. I'm putting a link to that in the chat. You are welcome to subscribe to that channel and check out some of the other trainings. And the second resource that I have for you is a Facebook group in case you have, in case you have any questions around a particular topic. So I'm going to post that link in the chat as well. And you're welcome to join that as well. Again, all of this stuff that we're talking about and doing today is no obligation. I'm not forcing you to do anything, but these are very helpful resources for you. All right, so that's the Facebook community. You are welcome to join that. I just dropped the link in the chat. All right, and again, this is the planner that I've come up with, and I'll tell you how you can get access towards the end of the presentation. It's free, so it's electronic, and if you want a physical copy, you can visit my website. It's about 200 pages, and that's that. I'm not doing this anymore. All right, so social media. So marketing implementation and social media mastermind. This used to be only the social media mastermind, but I've realized that we have a need for marketing and marketing implementation. These are social media stats. Generally, a lot of the stuff that we teach, we can translate over and use in social media. So these are stats that I like to bring up and emphasize for anybody that wants to say, hey, I don't like social media. I don't care about social media. I want you to see the importance or the influence and the effect of social media, right? So generally, right, this slide says those that are using social media are doing better than those that aren't, right? This is why social media is important to you and your business. Next, we talk about social media, but we also talk about, and I also like to emphasize video, right? Video marketing is highly important. Video marketing is essential. So the bottom line with this slide, just like the previous slide, is that generally people that are using video in their business are doing better than those that are not using video. So please get out there and try to utilize video marketing in your business. And these are very specific stats to our niche and our industry, right? So 85% of buyers and sellers prefer video, but less than 40% of agents are using video. And then even further, less than 10% of agents are using video consistently. So that's something I want you to think about. People always ask, how can I stand out? Well, you use video. And just earlier, I talked about branding, right? If you want branding, you want automatic branding, use video because you're going to be in that video. And that starts to help build your brand. It starts to build your likability, your trust factor, etc. All right. All right. So these are some past trainings that we have had in the past. There's an oxymoron, or I repeated myself, but these are past trainings that you can have access to. I'm going to tell you how you can collect the slides towards the end of the class. But these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 trainings, and then on the next slide presentation we have 4 more trainings. So collect a total of 9 trainings that you can take and go implement into your business, in addition to what you're learning here today, which we don't know yet. We're going to vote on what we want to learn about. Okay. For access to these, message me directly on Workplace and I'll send them out to you. If you're going to stay around for the length of the class, this will come with the planner as well as the slide presentation, so you don't have to message me. But so there we go with that. I'm not doing this anymore. All right, so we were supposed to have Jaime. Jaime was going to teach us about YouTube, but I made a mistake and I forgot that he said he wasn't going to be able to do it this week. So here's what we're going to do. I can teach, or I can show you some strategies around YouTube, but that's up to you. So we need to vote what it is that you want to learn about. And I would like to start off with, is there anything specific that somebody wants to learn about? And whatever the majority says, that's what we'll learn about. My strategy, what I typically teach specifically is that people really appreciate, is I teach Facebook ads. So that's an option. I can teach Facebook ads. I can teach video marketing, easy video marketing. I appreciate that class as well. And I have a few others, but depending on what it is that you want to learn about, that's what we'll learn about today. So please type in the chat and let me know what you want to learn about. Once I get a general idea of what it is that you want to learn about, I will get that presentation ready and we'll do that presentation. Video marketing, Facebook ads. Oh man, Facebook ads is winning. Anybody want to learn about something else? Shorts versus reels. I need some more votes. I need some more topics, or we're going to go to Facebook ads, which I'm fine with. But video marketing. Video. So we got 3 for video, and we got 3 for Facebook ads. Video. IG versus Facebook. Google ads, Facebook ads. All right, so it looks like it's going to be Facebook ads. Is that? Let me see. Video, Facebook ads. How about, let's get some more votes in there. I kind of don't want to do Facebook ads because I feel like I repeat myself, but let's see. Anybody else got a vote?
Jerome, Facebook ads are so amazingly complicated that you could teach this 20 times and you would pick up something new. It's not your 1, 2, 3. So, I'm not smart, and it took me 90 days during the pandemic to learn how to do this. So I don't think you're repeating yourself, and the more you teach us, the better.
Okay.
Is my opinion.
All right, so thank you. I appreciate that. That helps me because I just don't like to waste people's time. And generally, the Facebook ad class can go a little bit over. So what I'll do is, we have video. I guess I'll do the Facebook ad presentation and more
Jerome, why don't you just chunk it down and pick one piece for 30 minutes? Because there's so much to learn that you kind of get overwhelmed. Highlight one thing, like
I will.
How to write the ad, or how to pick the audience, and that will give you 30 minutes and somebody could, that's easier to understand.
Okay, all right, awesome. So we'll do Facebook ads, and let me try to think about what we can specifically do in Facebook ads. Maybe I'll run a ad from start to finish, and let's try that. Let's try to run an ad from start to finish. Um, I'm not going to do much presenting with the slides, but I do have some resources for you. So let me show you that resource, and yeah, Facebook ads will probably be valuable. So docs resource. No, that's not it. Helpful. All right, so please type yes. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch screens because I'm going to go over to the bigger screen so you can see it a little bit easier. No. So once I get my screen on the big screen, please let me know. Please confirm by typing yes. All right, so can you see my desktop? You should see like a white screen, and please type yes, and we can kind of move forward. I guess we will. I'll try to run an ad from start to finish. It's going to be because I'm going to teach Facebook ads again next week, and I think I want to emphasize the importance of remarketing and retargeting. And last week, whoever was here, like we had a really good class by Nick Niehaus about the importance of like building a funnel, like the other stages of Facebook, right? So one thing I want you to understand is that when we're running Facebook ads, that we're generally right, we're running to cold traffic, so we're in the lead generation phase, and that's what I typically go through in my presentation. I talk about the three phases of marketing, and one of them is lead generation. So let me see if I can bring that up really quickly so you can have an understanding. All right, so here we go. As I was stating a little bit earlier, so there are generally three phases of marketing, and the first phase, what we're going to do today, we're in that blue. So you see that blue up there? We're going to be in that phase, and that is generally cold. So we're going to be running cold traffic, and then next week, what we're going to do is I'm going to really emphasize the second phase, which is um, warm, right? And that is what inspired the book, because I realized that we don't follow up enough as business professionals. We're not following up with people the way we should be, right? So that's what the entire book is about. It's about the importance of following up with these leads so they can come to referrals, right? Because we all want the referrals. How you get business? Well, I do all referrals, right? But referrals come from cold leads too, if you take them through a certain nurturing process. All right. So we're going to do Facebook ads, and I have some resources for you, including this document. I'm going to send you this document as a PDF, and you're going to have access to this document. So this document has a bunch of tools and resources in it for you, right? So remember, this class is about implementation. Sometimes people come in with the wrong idea that they're going to learn everything in one shot. It just does not work that way. And the best way for me to serve you is to give you other resources outside of myself, including myself, right? So these are tools and resources that you have access to, privacy policies, tips, codes. This right here, people tend to appreciate this. And when I get into the back end of Facebook, this is what people appreciate. This template, I'm going to give this to you, right, as a resource towards the end of the class. But this, we're going to use this, and this is how, right, it might be good to screenshot this if you don't want to do the work to get my presentation a little bit later, but it might be wise to screenshot this, because these interests right here, when you plug them into Facebook, it will help your ads perform better, right? This is going to, so we talked about branding, we're doing that stuff. Well, this is marketing. This is marketing, and it's you're, oh, nobody's seeing me? It's nobody? Okay, I apologize. That's my fault. Can you see me now? Can you see the screen now? Okay, I think somebody touched the screen. I apologize about that. I'm going to start from the top. So this document has a bunch of resources in it for you. And these are some of the resources. I'm not going to repeat that, but as I was stating before, this page here is the page that people find the most value because of these keywords, right? We're going to take these keywords, we're going to plug them into the Facebook ad set, and this will help our ads perform better. because it's targeting people specifically that have these interests, right? So we talked about that marketing, like why would I post videos? Why would I talk about the dinner I had, or why would I do some silly TikTok dances? That's all branding. What we're talking about today, this is marketing, right? And we're trying to generate a response. The other cool thing about this marketing is that we can get like leads, and we can get this stuff near immediately, right? So you can run Facebook ads for a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and you can get leads coming into you that same week. Whereas branding, we don't really know. It's a little bit hard to predict that, right? So both are essential. Again, both are essential, both are important, but this is how you gain leads. This is how you get business, right? And I've heard some people do it. Like, how do you run your business, right? With all referrals, like high producers. But generally, right, if you're going to be producing at a high level, there needs to be some kind of marketing running, right? So just something to keep in mind. And that's also another place to say, those goals are important. So I'm going to tell you how you can get that goal planner a little bit later as well. Now, so this resource, the other thing about this resource, I'm just showing you, I'm taking you through it, is I have, so it can be overwhelming. It's like, what do I say, or what do I put in my ad copy, or what should I do? Well, I've done all of that, right? I've been doing it in my business. I still do it in my business. So I'm basically giving you everything that I apply, right? And I'm giving it to you. So you have templates. All you have to do is copy and paste. So this right here, this is the primary text. When we get into the Facebook Ad Center, right? This is the stuff that we're going to use. We can copy and paste, so we no longer have to worry about what should I say, what should I do, what word should I pick, where should I click, drag and drop, right? So that's an example. Then one more thing in this resource that I have for you is these images, right? So you can click on this picture, you'll click on this picture and it'll take you out to the templates. Actually, let me try that so you can see it. So these are, it's a little bit small, but let me zoom in. These are the templates that I use. And what you would do with these templates is you would take them, make them your own, right? So these are houses specific to my market and what I'm trying to achieve, but you'll do the same thing. So you'll take these templates, you'll swap out the picture, and you will put in your market or your objectives, like what it is that you're trying to do. So in this instance, it's row houses in Philadelphia. Then I got another one where I was probably using for agency, and I put my face on there, right, to show them who I am, to get some branding in there, right? These are other houses, new hot listing, and then this is like me, like in the kitchen. You would do the same thing. You take these templates, you apply your pictures, you apply your branding, and then you just put it into your business, right? So more houses. And then so I'm primarily an investor, and I like to buy houses as investments. So this is another template on what I was doing, right? And this is for more beat up houses than prettier houses. So these are templates examples that you get access to, and I'll tell you how you can get access to those a little bit later after we kind of run the Facebook ad, right? So again, we're in the lead generation phase. I'm going to go into the Facebook ad manager. I'm going to set up an ad. I'm going to take you from start to finish, and I'm hoping that I have enough time to emphasize the importance of remarketing and retargeting.
Hey
and
Jerome,
and
I'm
yes.
sorry to interrupt you, but I thought it was just me, but I'm looking in the chat. I don't see the screen, and a couple of people are also saying they can't see it. So I don't know. I refresh.
Okay, I appreciate you, Debbie, for interrupting. I don't know what's going on. Can you see it now? All right, I think that
It's on
somebody's
the other
clicking
screen.
around
It's on the
stuff.
other screen.
If somebody's clicking around on stuff, please stop. It interferes with the room a little bit, but I'm on the main screen. Can you see it now? And Debbie, do you know where I lost you?
Um,
No?
no, I don't
Okay.
know. And now my screen won't let me go. Okay, so now it's moving, but
Okay, don't worry about it. So let me start
okay,
from the top. I apologize. I don't know what's going on here, y'all, but I'm trying to bear
okay. I
with me.
see the screen now.
So
I see it
these
now, though.
these are the probably lost me at the document. This is the document, and I opened up those templates for you is what I did, and I think it kind of got lost around there. But I was showing you these templates, like these are pictures that I use in my business. And when you get this document, all you have to do is click on this picture, and it will take you over to that document that I had up. So where did it go? All right, so it'll take you to the not a document. It'll take you to Canva, and it'll allow you access to use this as a template. Okay, you still with me? Everybody still with me? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So you get these templates. These are I talked through the examples already. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but these are all templates and examples that you can use. Houses wanted, I buy houses. These are my templates, and you can take them and use them. Right? I'm giving you templates. Right? So remember, I talked about like implementation, employment, execution. I'm giving you stuff so you can be further along, and closer to implementation into your business. Right? That's my objective. So this is that resource. I don't think there's too much else here that you need to see. Yeah, there's not too much else there that you need to see. So now what I'm going to do is go over to. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to create a Facebook ad. I might move a little bit fast. So I need the feedback. Let me know if I'm moving fast or moving slow. People tell me I get excited. And so I need that feedback. All right. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go to facebook.com and let's zoom in. So this is Facebook, and generally what you're going to do from Facebook is I'm going to start here, and no, not there. These 9 dots up here is where you're going to go to. You're going to try to navigate to, right? So I'm going in, and then I'm going to look for the Ads Manager. The Ads Manager, I'm going to left click on that Ads Manager. It's going to take me over to the Ads Manager, right? It's loading up. And this is where I will create an ad. So what you're going to want to make sure you do when creating this ad is make sure you select the right account, right? You go up here, like right now it's on my personal account. I'm just going to leave it like that because I don't want to interfere with some of my clients' accounts. But you make sure you go into the right account. So if you have a business account, make sure you go and utilize that business account. Right? If you want to if you're going to advertise on that account. Generally, you cannot run ads from your personal account. The bottom line, make sure you select the right account when you're inside the Facebook Ad Manager. So we're going to imagine that I'm in the proper account, and I'm just going to hit this green create button. I want to left click on that. And remember, I talked about we're those 3 phases of lead generation, those 3 phases of marketing. So depending on what you want to achieve, this is why the ad manager is effective. You get to select what objective you want to do, right? So you can do brand awareness, you can do reach, traffic, video views, lead generation, messages, conversions, store traffic, right? You can select whichever of these are most relevant to you. So a lot of times we're first starting off and we're just trying to increase our brand awareness or something like that. We're just trying to get out there. I want people to know who I am as a real estate investor or a real estate agent. So in this case, you can select awareness, right? Or you might be a little bit further along and you're like, you know what, I want to drive some traffic to my website. You can select that as well. I generally, right, because I already have brand awareness and I'm already have reach going, I generally go to this second tier right here, which is like, and I use traffic because I generally use websites, right? You can use forms and which is lead generation, but I generally use traffic, and some people like phone calls. It depends on what you want to do. In this instance, we're going to select traffic, right? So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to select continue. Okay, so when you get in there, Facebook generally breaks up your, let's say, mission, right? They break up your mission into 3 phases, right? So your first, the mission is the campaign. Like, what is it that you're going to do in the campaign? So as an example, Debbie, since you've been vocal lately, I would like to use you as an example. What's your market, Debbie?
Okay, what's my what?
What
My
Las
market?
market?
Yeah, your market.
Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Awesome.
Yay!
All right, so Debbie's in Las Vegas, so I'm going to name my campaign Las Vegas, and then I'm going to search for, let's do buyers. I always do sellers, so Las Vegas buyers, right? I'm going to try to find some Las Vegas buyers, and then I'm particular, so I like to generally give it a name of whatever date I created the ad. So do 07/28. So Las Vegas buyers is a campaign name. I put the date in there to kind of give an idea of when I started the ad, and that's for my staff as well, so they can know. Now, it's important that when you get inside the ad manager, that you select this special ad category, right? So they give you that option down here. Because we're running housing opportunities, we have to let them know that it's a special ad category. And in this instance, we have to select housing. So I'm going to select housing, and then I'm going to proceed. These are more advanced strategies, right? When you scroll down, I selected this stuff is more advanced. You don't absolutely need to do these things, but they can come into effect later, right? So I'm just going to do next in the lower right. I'm going to click next. Now, traffic. So this is the ad set. So an example, this is where you start to select who you want to target, right? So who am I going to go after? Am I going after people with interest in yoga? Am I going after people with interest in restaurants? Am I going after people with interest in military? This is where you start to select your interests, right? And that document that I was showing you a little bit earlier, that's where that really comes into effect, right? Because then you don't have to think about it, right? You can combine that with maybe something else that you're doing. In this instance, I'm going to call this ad set, I'm just going to call it generic buyers, right? I'm just looking for generic buyers is what I'm looking for. So that's what I'm going to call my ad set. And I want to say in Las Vegas. All right, that's my ad set. I'm letting them know what the objective is for this particular ad set. And again, sounds fancy ad set, but it's just who you're going to target, where they are located, right? Like who you're going to aim at is the ad set. Traffic. This section, because I selected a traffic ad, depending on the objective that you've chosen, this section will be a little bit different. But in this instance, I've chosen traffic, so I can direct them to a specific website. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up a little bit because I don't think I'm prepared to have a landing page. So what I'm going to do, and this might be a little less techy, right, for some people. Maybe I want people to phone call. Maybe I'm better on the phone. So I'm going to drive traffic to calls. I want people to be able to call me as an example. So I'm going to select that and kind of proceed from there. In real life, I don't like to receive phone calls because I'm a millennial, but I'm just showing you as a demonstration. Some people might prefer phone calls right now, you know? You might not want to deal with tech or landing pages or something like that. So for traffic, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select calls. I want people to call me as an example. Next, what you do, your budget and schedule. This is where self-explanatory. This is where you select your budget. This is where you select how often you want your budget to run. Now, last week, Nick Niehaus gave us a really good tip, right? I've been doing Facebook ads for a long time, and I'm still always learning. He gave a good tip. So I typically, what I was doing, even when I first started out, I would just select the daily budget on what I want to do, right? And I would do, $50 a day, $20 a day, $10 a day, whatever it is. Well, I never really played around with lifetime, but this is something you might want to consider. So in this instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lifetime budget, right? Let's just say I only have $2,000 that I can spend on marketing. That's all I got. That's my allocated budget. Or let's just say I only got, I don't know, $500. So that would be my lifetime budget. So Facebook will take that budget, that money, and it will only spend that amount of money, right? So I'm going to put 500 in here, and that's my budget. Now, something I want you to do is always pay attention over here. They give you estimated results on the very right. It's a little bit hard to read, but they give you estimated results based on every time you make a change over here. So as an example, if I go back to website traffic, this estimated daily results should change, right? So I'm going to select that, and that changes. So people will be visiting my, and people are less likely to call, so that's why it changes, right? They're more likely to click on a website. But so my estimated daily results, people will click on my link 265 through 765 times. That's what they're going to do if I select website. If I want to drive traffic to a website, that's how many times they're going to click on that ad versus phone calls is going to be less than 10 is what it's saying, right? So this is where, like, I have another class where I teach marketing math. This is where you start to really get clear on your math, like how much money do I need to start having success with Facebook ads, right? People always ask about budget. You come in here, you play around, and you figure out the budget yourself. So it's like, it's telling me I'm going to get less than 10 calls. That could be 9, it could be 8, it could be 5. I don't really know what it is, but this is giving me some clarity on what I'm going to do based on my budget. So let's just say I wanted to go up to 1,000. Let's see what kind of results that's going to get me. It's still less than 10. Oh my God. So let me see if I go up to 2,000. Yeah, it's not changing. So I don't know. Maybe people don't want a phone call. I don't know what's going on there. Um, I want you to see some real world numbers, so I'm going to switch it back to website. So based on my budget right now of $2,000, I would have 1,000 people clicking on that link daily, right? And that's the thing about the phone calls. I said the phone calls, it wasn't a lot there, but those were daily estimates. So it's less than 10. It could be 9 a day, 8 a day, but it's just not enough, right? I guess it's got to be over 10. But you based on this lifetime budget of $2,000, I would get 1,000 link clicks, right? 1,000 people would click on that link and visit that site. So that's traffic running, right? And I can remarket and retarget them a little bit later. We'll talk about that in the next class, which is next Thursday. So I'm going to switch this budget, make it a little more. I think 2,000 is realistic, but I'm just going to take it down because I know those thousands can scare people. So I'm going to do $500 budget, and based on a $500 budget, I should expect 265 link clicks. Now, this is not leads. This is not phone calls or anything like that. This is that many people clicking over to my links, right? So it can be 265 through 765. That's how many link clicks I can expect based on the budget that I've put in here, right? And that's lifetime. Let me restart the date. All right, so audience, this is where you define who's going to see the ads. Like, who are we going to target? Are we going to target just generic homeowners, right? Or are we going to target homeowners with a specific interest? Are we going to target homeowners that stay in the locate in a certain location? Like, who are we going to target? So, and then later when you see next week, this is where you really hone in on the remarketing and the retargeting, right? Because you use custom audiences and then you remarket and you retarget to them. Okay. So, and with that, you can include or you can exclude. Now, this is where you select your location. So we haven't select Las Vegas yet. I'm going to select edit, and then I want to target Las Vegas. I want to target people living in or recently in. You have to make an executive decision here. Do you want to target which of which of these you want to target, right? I want to do people living in or recently in. I want both. I'm going to X out the United States, and then I'm going to just come up. I'm going to come up with a market, right? So down here, I'm going to search my location, and I'm going to do Las Vegas. And something I'm glad it came up. Something I want you to think about is sometimes certain cities, certain counties, they have what is called a designated marketing area, and so I can select just Las Vegas, the city, or I can select Las Vegas, the designated marketing area. Debbie, Beth Ellen, would you know what the DMA is for Las Vegas, like some of the other counties or some of the other?
Yeah, it's the entire valley, which is Clark County,
Okay.
which is Henderson and the city of North Las Vegas. And will you also talk about putting a dot on the map and how that works?
Yes, sure. So you can select. Thank you, Beth Ellen. I appreciate you. So you can select. So I'm going to select DMA. That's an option. And then right here in the lower right, they also give you an option to drop a pin, which I generally don't select. So I appreciate you saying that, Beth Ellen. But you can left click that and you can drag it to where you can you can drag a map and drop it. So I left click and I can drop it like anywhere that I want. So let me just say I didn't want to target the entire Las Vegas. Let me say I zoom in on a map and I wanted to target like maybe where I live. As an example, I can
Or
drop the
where you
pin
have
there.
a listing?
Or where I have a listing. Good example. So for example's sake, I'm going to X out Las Vegas as a DMA and Beth Ellen, what's a place in Las Vegas, like an address? You got a little address somewhere, like a famous place?
How about my house? 9589 C as in cat, OMISKEY.
All right,
It's
so
Comiskey Court, KEY.
okay, it's right here. So it's coming up, right? It was taking a little while. And right here, Facebook is saying address. So I'm going to select address based on where I am, right? So maybe I don't want to target the entire Las Vegas. Maybe I just want to target where I live or where my brokerage is or something like that. You have those options. I want to select, in this case, Bethany gave me that address. I want to select that address. So that's what I'm going to target thus far. And I can drop it. They already dropped the pin for me. So, uh, the idea here is, let me say, Beth Ellen gave me that in which they dropped the pin, but let me say I wanted to target Boulder City over here, right? I can drop a pin on Boulder City. So I left click on that, left click, and then I go drop that pin there. So now I have two target areas that I can target based off this, right? So I type one in manually, then I also drop the pin. All right. Does that help, Beth Ellen? Is that clear?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
how to do it, but I just wanted to show
Yeah.
people. Facebook has now demanded that you do X amount of miles, but in the old days, you could drop the pin and do 1 mile, and that made marketing really easy. But still, it's still valuable if you have a listing and you need to sell it.
Yes. Thank you. So now, next, the important thing here is uh, the important thing here is the detailed targeting. So that document that I kind of talked about, this is where you make those changes and you make those suggestions. You modify this detailed targeting. And you can come in here, you can type this stuff manually if you want. So I really don't know what to type. That's why I have that document, but you can type in certain interests that people have. I'm going to flash over to that document and I'm going to copy the keywords over, right? So I'm looking for buyers. I split it up. I got interests, general real estate interests. I got mortgage. I got sellers. I got buyers. In this case, I'm going to select the buyer's interest. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to take that over to the Facebook ad manager and then I'm just going to paste it in. And when I paste it, it updates my results over here, right? So it took my link clicks down to about, it was at 257. So now it's 90 through 260. But those people that are going to click on those links are more, they have more interest in these specific topics. So that's where that document comes into use. And again, just so you see it, you can also do no interest. You can have success with that too. You don't have to put interest there, but when you do, it becomes more targeted. So that's that. That is important that you add that there. So that is the extent of the ad set. Generally, this you used to be able to come in and play around with these ad placements, and but now the algorithm has become sophisticated enough where you don't need to mess with this manually. So I generally suggest that people leave it automatically. Placements are just where you're going to put it. So I saw somebody ask earlier, like Instagram versus Facebook. Facebook owns Instagram, so when you're running this advertising this way, you don't have to select one or the other. You can do both, and it's simple as this checkbox. By having the automatic feature enabled, it will do it automatically for you. But if you like, you know what, I don't want to do it in Messenger, I don't want to do it on Stories and Reels, you don't have to. You have those options if you want to come play around. But automatic should serve you. That should be good enough. So that's the extent of the ad set. The ad set is where we determine who we're going to target, right? Next we're going to go to the specific ad. So within the ad, what you're going to do, I'm going to call this ad buyers in V near Comiskey as an example. That's an example. This is I'm looking for buyers near Comiskey. That's what I'm going to call my ad. Identity. This is where you select your page, right? So you select the specific page that you want to advertise to. I got a few pages in here. Let's just do, where's Jerome Buys Houses? I'm just going to do this page, and this is where you start to create the actual ad. So all of that stuff that we did was preparation for what we're going to show. The ad is what people are going to see. So over here they have ad preview. You can enable this so you can begin to start to see what your ad will look like. So let's walk through it. Manual setup. I'm going to create an ad. I'm going to do a manual upload. And in this case, I'm just going to select a single image or a video. That's the format. And the ad creative, I'm going to add media. So you can add your media. You can add a video or you can add an image. I was not super prepared for today's call, but I have images already uploaded, so I'm not going to take you through that upload process. So I'm just going to add let's try a video actually. Do I got any videos in here? Page videos. All right, so these are some videos that I have in here. Are any of these relevant to, yeah, this is a video. So this is a video that I have going. It's about 13 seconds of me talking about how they can buy a house. The video is not optimal in the format. This was like a cover photo video, so it's not an ideal video, but I just want you to see that you can do a video as an ad, right? So yeah,
My
that's,
name is Jerome, and I buy houses. I typically like to
Well,
buy a house.
Facebook likes you to add videos through its Creator Studio. They upload easier that way.
Yeah, that's where they got uploaded to. So that's why they're there. So I'm just gonna do done. Again, this video is not ideal because it's not like the proper size, but you get the concept. I'm gonna do done, and this is how my video is gonna show up to people that are interested in the stuff that I put in, right? All right, add creative. That is the video that we just did. Now, this is where you come in and you take this document and you start to place that stuff in, right? So primary text, you know, go over to this document and go to the primary text section, right? I'm just going to do my best to flash through because we're like a little bit limited on time. I'm going to paste that in there. And every time I update, you should see it update over here, right? So I paste that primary text in there. Now that's what my ad looks like on the very right. So it's got the ad copy in there. You can kind of see it. You can see the ad. It's a little bit small, but you can see that ad there. Now, next, the headline. I have headlines for you. Headlines are essential to advertising. It's supposed to grab their attention. So I'm going to go find my headlines. And there we go. Attention homeowners. I'm just going to, no, those are sellers. All right. I don't know where my buyers, headlines are, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to grab that one and paste it in. And then description, I got descriptions over here for you. Here we go. Click the learn more button. I'm going to copy this, go back over to Facebook, and then I'm going to paste that description in there. All right, so now you can kind of see that Facebook ad coming to life. This is what it will appear like to people that are interested in those interests that we pasted in, right? Now, call to action. This is up to you. Make an executive decision here. It depends on your offer. So in this case, did we select website? Yeah, in this case, we select website. So I want them to learn more information. So I'm going to just keep enable the learn more button. You might be offering a free seller's guide or a buyer's guide or a webinar or something like that, and you would select the corresponding call to action button. The destination URL, this is where you're going to select your landing page, right? So don't think I have a landing page ready, but let's try to do it really quickly. Yeah, I don't have a landing page ready, but let's just imagine we had a landing page ready. So let me see. Let me see one of my clients got something available. All right, so this is a landing page. I'm going to grab this landing page and then I'm just going to paste it inside of the Facebook ad. So I'm going to paste that in here. And basically when I run that ad, it will go to that specific landing page. Okay. Now, that's my landing page, and yeah, we're done. So that's the destination. So this is what the ad will look like, and they will go over to that specific landing page. Once I'm done those steps, right, the ad, I would just click this publish button. It's going to take I don't know, up to 48 hours for Facebook to approve the ad. Once they approve the ad, your ad will be running and the leads should start coming to you, right? Depending on what it is that you chose, whether you chose phone call, or whether you chose traffic, or you chose for them to message you directly. That's where the advertising will start coming. So that's how you run a Facebook ad from start to finish. This is the lead generation phase. Next week, we will be talking about custom audiences, remarketing, and retargeting. So we can follow up with these leads, right? So we don't want to just generate leads. We got to follow up and we got to nurture those leads. So we'll talk about that next week. Now, let's go back to the presentation and let me tell you how you can get access to the slides. All right, so. All right, so here's how you get access to the slides. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link inside of the chat, and all you have to do is leave me some honest feedback at the link. Tell me what you learned, and I'll send the links. I'll send the slides over to you. You have to do it within the next 10 minutes. That's all of the time I have. So what I need you to do is I'm going to grab that link. Let me grab the link. Where is it? Grab that link. It is a Google review link for my marketing agency. I just need some honest feedback on what what you thought, and I will send the presentation over to you. So grab that link, post the honest feedback, take a screenshot of that feedback, and send it to me on Workplace. Once you send that to me on Workplace, I will send the slides over to you, and we can kind of go from there. Next, which when you request that slide presentation, I will include a link so you can get access to that planner really quickly so you can see the planner. I want to show you the planner because I'm like really excited about this thing. So let me find it. All right, so this is what the planner looks like. It is free to you. It's just electronic. If you want like a physical copy, you just got to go get it. So I got a bunch of stuff inside of this planner, so we can start like documenting our goals and what it is that we're trying to achieve, right? So we got in here so you can plan out your year, right? Let me do the 2-page view for you. So you can plan out your year in here. You can plan out your month, right? You can plan out your week. We have, what else we got in here? We've got daily goals in here for daily goals, what you're trying to achieve in your business. We've got expenses reports. You know how those expenses can get out of hand. We've got billing and subscriptions. We got future expenses. We've got business vision. So we've got a bunch of content in here for you to use in your business. This electronic copy is free to you. When you send over that feedback, I'll send over the slides and it will have a link to this planner inside for you. So that's all you got to do. Does anybody have any questions before we go? We got 2 minutes. I'm open to taking questions.
Can you put the link back on, please,
What link?
to the review that you want?
Yes. That's Debbie?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're good. You could just message me. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm dropping the link again just for anybody else. If you want, just all you got to do is leave me honest feedback and I'll send it over to you. Just message me. It's a screenshot of that feedback on Workplace. Any questions before we go? We got about 1 minute left. I apologize about the little the mishap from earlier, but I hope I brought enough value. Walter, what is the advantage of lifetime Facebook versus budget, lifetime budget versus daily budget? So I don't know if there is an advantage, but the way you want to think about it is if you have a budget of, say, like we did today, $500, uh, if you use lifetime, you can tell Facebook, hey, I only want to use $500. Or you can say, hey, I only want to use $250 of the $500. And when you select, if you select 250, they'll only spend 250. Whereas daily, when you select daily, they will use whatever amount you selected daily, right? So as an example, I always do $50 a day. So if I do 50, that means they're going to try to spend about and around $50 a day. They want it to average out to be $50 a day. So sometimes it might be $60 and then 40, right? But generally it's going to be an average of $50 per day. Is that clarified for you, Walter?
One of the advantages is, I guess I'm just not smart enough to know what Facebook ad's going to work or resonate. So I'll put ad A out and only give it $20 lifetime. And if I get great response, then I put, $10 or $20 a day. If I get no response, I change the ad, give it $20 lifetime and check. Always there's one that just clicks and then I put the money after it, but I don't know out at the outset. And that's why I use lifetime in the beginning, just to test to see what works or not.
Just message me directly on Workplace, Claire. Just message me directly, just Jerome Lewis, and just send me a message. It's not a specific group, just me. You're welcome. So all of those resources will be included in the slides. So the Facebook resource as well as the planner. Just message me for the slides with the feedback, and I'll send it over to you. I'll send you a link. Everything will be there. Okay. All right. Any other questions before we go? It's 3:02, and I'd be happy to answer a few more questions. But if not, we can end.
Hey, Jerome, one more question, please.
Yes, Debbie.
I know we didn't get into it too
Uh huh.
much, but landing pages is really a big deal. I know there are some sites that you can go on and pay for them.
Uh huh.
Also, I know that KV Core, I think if you set up a squeeze page,
Hmm.
you can make that your landing page. But if you don't have any of that, what is the next best thing? Because we saw that calls didn't really get enough hits.
Hmm.
And if you're trying to reach the massive, you got to have somewhere to collect this data or some way of collecting it.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. You don't have KV Core, or you don't prefer to use it,
I
or
do
okay,
have I do have it. I'm not efficient enough in it,
okay.
so I'm still working on it.
Okay, so there's like multiple options. I'm gonna try to give you two. So my suggestion is like if you don't want to spend extra money and you don't want to pay someone else or pay for another service, is generally use KV Core, right? Try to use KV Core. If you don't want to use KV Core, you don't want to manage it. I run an agency and I'll be happy to build you like a landing page and manage this stuff for you. So just reach out to me and I'll take care of you. But I would say use KV Core, and if you got like 5 minutes, I can show you how to do KV Core like really quickly. Like right now, I figured out where the page was. I can try to show you that if you want.
Perfect. Let me get my other note thing because I got to put in different notes.
Okay. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So, Debbie, here's what we're going to do. Like, you're generally going to log into your KV Core, and your KV Core just looks like this, right? It looks like whatever. It's like, all right, where do I go? Where do I click, right? That's some of the stuff. That's part of what overwhelms us with technology. It's like, oh, what do I do? It can be a little bit overwhelming. A tip, though, is the more you use it, the more familiar you will become. All right. So, I come into KV Core and I'm looking like, where should I go? What do I do? I'm going to go over here to my lead engine section, and then I'm going to build a squeeze page. So I'm going to left click on squeeze page. So I'm hovering over lead engine, I'm left clicking on squeeze page, and I think I was like targeting buyers or something like that.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
just going to stick with the consistency and do this one, right, which is multiple properties. So I'm going to come in here and you will fill in all of this stuff accordingly. So location, I'm just going to say Las Vegas to stay consistent. Oh, maybe I can't do Las Vegas because it's tied to. But you would imagine you're in.
It's tied to your
Yeah, my
MLS,
MLS.
correct?
So yeah, you would imagine that you're in Las Vegas, right? I'm typing Philadelphia, but you imagine you're in Las Vegas, okay?
Got it.
So that's my location there. Or you can kind of draw. It would be very similar to the pen exercise that we did in the Facebook ads a little bit earlier. Listing type. Come in here, select whatever. Let me see. I want to do single family. Style, you just come in, you select everything accordingly, right? So let me do row.
Okay.
No, they don't got row. They're not gonna call them row houses here. Um, I don't know. Come on, what do we
Select
call them?
one. Bye.
I rush so much because I hate people. I hate wasting people's time. That's why I like talk fast and stuff like that. So I'm like trying to rush through and figure out what do I call this house. Uh, I'm just going to leave that blank, right? You don't have to fill in everything. So I got single family, I got Philadelphia, price range. I'm going to do 200K, right? No maximum square feet footage. All that stuff is kind of self-explanatory. We're agents, we understand
Right.
that, right? And
Okay.
page. So this source can be kind of important. So in this instance, I might do Facebook landing page. I might put a date or something like that. But be descriptive. I'm just going to do Facebook for the sake of time and simplicity. Cover photo. I never mess around with that. Hashtags. I'm not going to mess around with that. And property views. allow for before registration. You make an executive decision here. I'm going to do two by default. Direct link. It's going to give me a direct link, and then this short link is going to give me a short link. So when I click this generate button, it's going to give me a link to that specific landing page that I just built out. So I'm left click on that, and it gave me those two links. I'm going to collect the short link because it looks better. And now I created a squeeze page based off the criteria that I just put in inside of KV Core, right? So I now have that link. I'm left clicking here to copy that link, and where I paste my client's landing page, I would just paste my own landing page inside of Google, inside of Facebook, right? So I'm going to do a new page and show you what the landing page looks like based off the criteria that we put in. So when a client visit this squeeze page, this is what they will do. They will be allowed to view some property. So let me see. Oh, I like that one. That's so nice. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to view it. Then I'm going to go back and then I'm going to view this one. Oops. Okay. Yeah. Similar properties. I'm going to view that one. And I think then it's going to prompt me to register, view details.
I think it came up.
Yeah, it did come up, but I think it came up because I clicked something. But yeah, this is a squeeze page, and you got
So
500.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
so I'm gonna copy that little short link and I'm gonna put that where
Yeah,
you
you're
was
gonna put
doing the
that
breakdown.
over here. So where I pasted that, this is where you're gonna put it. I was rushing through a little bit because I didn't want to waste your
Yeah.
time, but that's where you put it. So now instead of my client's landing page that we just saw, it'll go to that specific squeeze page, not a landing page, squeeze page. Okay?
Okay, so and it'll act the same as if it was anything. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Does anybody else have any questions or need clarity on anything before we go? So you get what you need when you speak up, Debbie. It's nice to hear
I
from you.
see that.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I
Thank
apologize
you. I
about the
appreciate
little
you.
about how little unprepared I was, but I did my best to deliver what I could. Next week I'll be talking about the importance of remarketing, retargeting, follow up, and custom audiences. So, uh, see you next week. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Workplace. I'll try to take care of you. Again, if you want the slide presentation, what you have to do, I'm gonna post that link. Give me some honest feedback about the presentation, what you thought, and I will send it over to you. It doesn't have to be positive, just be honest, okay? So I appreciate you all, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much, and thank you,
One
Debbie.
more question.
Yeah,
One
go
more
ahead, go
thing.
ahead, go ahead.
So since we're gonna be you're gonna be mirroring, is that what you're saying for next week on showing us you already showed us how to do that. So now we're gonna take that data and we're gonna mirror the people, the audience that we want. Is that what we're doing?
That is very close to what we'll be doing. You on the right track. So we've been targeting these people, and it's like, all right, we still need to target them. They're not going to do business with us on the first try, so we
Okay.
need to remarket to them. So that's the basis, like remarketing, retargeting, and this lead generation that we're doing, like we're getting people interested. It's starting to build an audience, right? So those link clicks that we're looking at, it was telling us 200, but say only 20 people clicked on that. Well, those 20 people, they kind of categorize themselves as people that are interested. And now we can start to target those people even more. Okay? We can target them even more because they've shown interest, and that's the audience, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to follow up. A lot of times we like, oh my God, the leads didn't work. We got to follow up. We got to do it correctly. And that's what we're going to talk about next week, the remarketing and the retargeting. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
So doing that, okay, I think where I'm also getting lost at
hmm
is okay, I know you didn't have the videos ready. I need to know what kind of videos I need to be working on to put in that as an example when I'm setting that up.
Yeah. So that will vary. And have you been to the lead generation frustration elimination, the content creation frustration elimination class?
I didn't know anything about that one. No,
No. Okay.
nope.
So um, all right. That is, I think we have one of those trainings available in the resources. If not, I can find it for you somewhere. You know how to reach me. If you reach out to me, if you find, I'll get that resource to you. But I believe it's inside the presentation when I send it. So that is a class where we teach you about how to come up with topics that people are searching for. So that's how you would
Okay.
do it. And if you're willing and confident enough to do video, you do it that way. So you conquer both the branding as well as the marketing in one setting. Okay, so I will double check on the. Let me check those trainings. I'll double check on on the content frustration elimination trainings, but I think they're inside the slides as a resource. Let me try to go up really quickly and double check.
Is this a weekly class also?
Which one? The content frustration?
Yeah.
No, I do that. It only pops up once in a while when I have the time and when enough people request it. So
Okay.
I do have a recording somewhere though. It's pretty old, but I do have it somewhere on my
Okay.
YouTube. I'm pretty sure. Uh, all right, yeah. So it is in here as a resource for you right here. So you see this when you collect these
Okay.
slides, Debbie. This right
I
here,
see it.
CCFE workshop replay. You're gonna do that, and you're gonna apply those strategies, and that's where you're gonna make content about. And that's what you
Okay.
can use as a video, right? Like a video. And I would
Okay.
encourage you. So you're going to collect the resource with the pictures and everything like that. Do use that stuff to get off the ground right away. But then while your ad is running and you're like right away running, then do this other stuff. Add to it. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Because I'm trying to get in the habit of setting up both of my computers, and I want, like, when you're doing it, I want to do it, but I want to make sure I know what content I need to be putting in because I'm doing it live with you.
Okay. I
That's
got you. And
yeah, that's
if
what I'm
you
trying. Yeah.
the YouTube is a little bit unorganized, like I can't find everything for you. I post so much content, but if you go through the YouTube, you will find some of those kind of trainings, right? So go to my YouTube and search for, like, as an example, like if you want to do Facebook ads, just go to my YouTube and type in Facebook ads, and I will have some trainings on there where you can just sit there, pause it, and stop and do some of those things.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I need to go binge watch.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're welcome. So get the resources from me, and then also just search the YouTube, and you should be able to do what you need to do. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you so much. And you were amazing. Don't beat yourself up. You would not have known that you was doing that on the fly and didn't have it prepared. You've got this. It's like the back of your hand.
Thank you,
I
Debbie. I appreciate
I
that.
just admire that because I mean, you just went on and improvised and didn't miss a beat.
Thank you.
I
I
love it.
appreciate that because
Thank
some
you.
some of the feedback they'd be like, "Oh my," some of it be a little negative and discouraging. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, I think people say that only because, to me personally, I think it's that's their shortcoming, something that they don't have, and you can't just jump on your program, your guys' program, one time and think that, oh, it's gonna click. I
Yeah.
mean, y'all been doing this. You've got to be in it. You got to not only just do it. I mean, listen to it. You got to go and implement it, like you said. So that's why you're getting that feedback because they're actually frustrated with themselves. So don't let that deter you. Don't let it beat you up. Keep it going because I can tell you right now, I appreciate you and love you because you're doing an amazing job. You're doing things. I'm telling you, I went out and paid for somebody to show me how to do this and still did not understand and they would not follow up, they wouldn't answer my question, and you are doing an amazing job. I would rather have gave you that money. I'm
Oh
telling you,
man, thank you so much.
that's how
You've really
that's
touched my
how
heart
much.
and you've really made my day.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, that's how much I just believe in you and Beth Ellie, and she'll tell you because, like I told, I screenshot her my Google results because I was like, "Oh my God, I did what you said!" And I didn't do all of it because I
Right.
didn't have the step by step.
Hmm.
I just went to a restaurant and I said, "Oh, Beth said do a review," and so I just took as much as I could remember, but I'm like, I got 3,000 views on that, just what I did.
Right.
Imagine if I
Imagine
did
if you did it.
everything she told me.
Yes.
That's what I was like, oh my God, just imagine what I would have got. So I thank you guys both. Y'all deserve the awards and much more. But I just want you to know, don't let that get in your head because you're doing an amazing job. And if people would just show up and then take what you're saying and go back and implement it, then they would not be frustrated and give that negative review.
Thank you so
That's
much,
it.
Debbie. You've really made my day and touched my heart. I mean that. Thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
whatever I can
Anytime.
do to help you, if you want, like you go do what I instructed you to do today. And if you hit a roadblock, you reach out to me. A free consultation. I'll help you figure it out. Okay.
I appreciate you.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day.
You do the same.
All right. Bye bye.
All right.